Good afternoon and welcome to Arts America, the program that brings you the best arts programs from St. Louis and around the country. New Haven, Missouri is a town of just over 2,000 people, about an hour outside of St. Louis, not far from Herman and Washington. It has a long history as a river town in the steamboat days, then later as a railroad town. And like so many little towns across America, it struggled against suburban development, the interstates, malls, and big box stores. But now New Haven is experiencing new growth, transforming itself in large part through the arts. We drove down recently to talk to some of the folks who are making it happen. Ellen Zobrist grew up in New Haven. Her husband Mark has lived there for 35 years. They are in many ways the town's catalyst for revitalization, working to attract artists and helping them locate and renovate the town's stock of 19th century buildings for studios and shops.
A lot of people think that rural America is on decline because all the creative people are moving away and leaving, the young people, and that just isn't true here. This building was in horrible shape. It was going downhill, and it's such a large building, and we knew if this was gone, the neighborhood would likely follow along with it. And then I think it was Mark's crazy idea to open up a hotel. Yeah. And he takes credit for that one. I was scared to death, and we did it.
I think a lot of urban people are looking for a place like this, and we think that the trend is going upward for New Haven.
Glass artist Gary Rice started his company, Astral Glass, in Southern California back in 1974. 10 years ago, he moved, with the encouragement of the Zobrists, to Front Street, in a vacant building between the railroad tracks and the Missouri River.
And what was really cool about New Haven is all the players that we met had a real single-minded vision about what they wanted to do in the downtown. They wanted an arts and entertainment district.
We make pieces here in Astral Glass, a lot of functional pieces, from vases to bowls and platters and goblets and beer mugs, and we do a lot of specialty projects for people that come into our shop.
My wife Judy and I have been doing stained glass for quite a while. She does most of the pattern work, the color selection, and the cutting of the glass. And I do the soldering work, and generally we work at the very end cementing the windows together. When we got here, there wasn't really much going on, and they expressed to us that they had hoped we might be an anchor to bring other artists to the community. This town went the way of a lot of little communities in Missouri where big box stores open up and little mom and pop stores end up leaving the downtowns, and we have a lot of vacant downtowns. And this one's on its way back, and we're really happy to be a part of it.
Just around the corner from Astral Glass is Boat Paddle Ukulele Company, where former St. Louis and Jerry Hoffman crafts instruments renowned nationally for their quality.
I'm a designer, and I've always designed things in different mediums. And the thing that attracted me to the ukuleles, and I suppose any string instrument, is that not only do you have to have skill in woodworking, you have to create a sound. And it's a real challenge to be able to control that sound and to get what you want out of the instrument. And that's probably the biggest draw for me. And I love this space down here. I mean, New Haven's a historic town, and this is one of the oldest buildings in town. It was built in 1872, and it's almost an honor to be in here, to be able to use this space the way I do. Living in proximity of other creative people is really inspiring, because just simply being around the people and having things in common, and that makes it easier. It makes it more enjoyable, and in New Haven, it's good to have that opportunity.
The photography of Tony Carosella ranges from commercial to artistic. He moved his business to New Haven from St. Louis 10 years ago.
The reason I came out here was because of the architecture. You know, I love photographing these small towns. There's this incredible rich wine culture out here. So there are the wineries, there are the vineyards, there's everything that's associated with the wineries and the vineyards. I never realized that there's a sort of a little piece of Europe that's right here in Missouri. I do think that the revitalization of the small town is due in large part to a lot of artists and craftsmen that are coming together, and in New Haven's case, that are really bringing it back to life.
When Alan Bell opened his ceramic studio on Front Street 6 years ago, most of downtown was vacant.
This space was available, so I arranged a deal with the Zobrist. I'll do the rehab, and if they'd help me with materials and things like that. So we opened the shop, and I knew I just couldn't sell pottery alone, so I found out that there were a lot of people like Tony the photographer, and there were blacksmiths here, there were basket makers, there were a lot of good, talented people in the local area. So we made it more than just a pottery shop. We had to find a niche that was unique to this area and to the people here, so arts seemed like a good deal.
A few doors down at Pinckney Bend Distillery, there is art in the creation of spirits. This small company has won some of the world's top honors in their production of vodka, gin, and whiskey.
We do small batch, fine quality spirits. We do them in our 60-gallon stills, so generally our batch size is 50 gallons. This part of the country provides the finest quality oak barrels in the world. The local oak is harvested, cut into staves, and stored in a wood yard for years. Then the barrels created from that. Then they're shipped all over the world. One of the keys here is the water quality. New Haven's a small town. It gets its water from a deep well. So there's a 2,000-foot deep hole in the ground that they pump water out of. It's pure enough that it doesn't require any treatment whatsoever. Because this is handcrafted, we use our nose and we taste and smell and do it the way it was done a long, long time ago.
So far, the plan seems to be working. Following the artists are new restaurants, B&Bs, and a growing flow of tourists who can spend their evenings listening to music at the Riverfront Cultural Society or catch a movie at the newly reopened 1940 Art Deco Walt Theater. There is new life on Front Street and a fresh feeling throughout New Haven that this former Missouri boomtown is headed into a new chapter.